guys. Happy Wednesday. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are watching from. Looks like we're going to technically start this show off with Alaska Airlines. Alaska 572 headed back to Seattle. It's going to have to cut around this Southwest here. Southwest was sitting here waiting for a gate, I do believe. Lynn, I don't. Hopefully you'll win another membership. Let's see, not this Sunday, but I think next Sunday. Speaking of Sundays, we will not be here on Sunday. It is Easter after all. So we're going to move our date and time to Saturday. I actually think we might start maybe an hour early. I haven't done a Saturday in so long. I'm not sure how well a Saturday will work. So we'll just have to do it and see how it goes. We don't do too many Saturday shows unless we go to different airports, usually. So again, that's Alaska 572, about to head to Seattle, Washington. To Seattle. We've got a departure on at 23 right over here. This one going to depart here in just a moment. It's not up on flight radar though. Stevie, thank you so much. Stevie gifting 10 Carolina Aviation memberships. Congratulations to all of you who were gifted a membership. Hopefully Lynn was one of those. Unfortunately, I have to open another window to be able to tell who won all the memberships, but congratulations to all of you, and thank you so much, Stevie. Greatly appreciate it. Great way to start our Wednesday afternoon show. RWB, good afternoon. Nelia, good evening. Oh, 10 more RWB, gifting 10 more Carolina Aviation memberships. That is 20, and we're only, 2 minutes into the show. Thank you guys so much for the support. Congratulations to our 20 new members. We are looking for, I think, 16 new subscribers tonight to reach that 4,900 mark. So hopefully by the night's end, we reach 4,900. In the stream, what's up? Santa Claus coming up here and hanging out with us on Sunday. Thank you to Santa Claus for stopping by. Taking some time out of his busy schedule. Thank you, White Helix. Sorry, I can't talk today. It's been a long day. I had to leave work early. I had an emergency at home, and I had to make some home repairs. So yeah, I had to leave work, and I've just been crazy busy. So I almost thought we might have to postpone the show, but luckily what we had to repair was actually really easy. So no issues there. So again, happy Wednesday, everybody, if you're just tuning in. And thank you to RWB and Stevie for gifting 20 Carolina Aviation memberships already. You guys are awesome. Congratulations to those 20 who were gifted those memberships. So if you guys watched Flight Radar for RDU, you guys saw that we had a 777 leave probably about an hour before I got here. a 777 headed down to Miami. So I feel like we probably had one stay overnight last night. Probably some mechanical issues, or maybe they're just swapping equipment so one can go down to Miami for that heavy maintenance. You guys are very welcome. I'm glad you guys enjoy the stream. Marco, good evening. We've got an American Airlines here on 23 right. Let's see if we can tell where this one's headed. So, American Airlines 2343. This one's headed to Los Angeles. So we're going to have a little bit of a race to the West Coast between this one and Alaska Airlines, who is headed to Seattle. Parking garage facing the terminal. That tends to get us in some trouble, so we've moved away so we don't gain any attention by anybody down below. Ramona Aviation, Jeff Davis, again, welcome in all. Yeah, we typically get quite a few diversions. We had, especially during weather. I remember one night Charlotte was getting hammered with weather. Man, I've never seen so many planes at RDU. They were parking them anywhere and everywhere. It was a good night that night. So here we go, Alaska 572. Sure, this is a 900. I don't know if it's a max or not yet. So we'll definitely lose Alaska here. Well, maybe not. They're going to stay between the poles there. Becky Davis, good evening as well. We've got a Novello departing at 2-3 left. We'll find out where Avello's headed in just a minute. And lots of helicopters flying around today. A couple of news helicopters coming in earlier. I swear I hear another one. I do. I don't know where it is though. We had Sky 5 a little while ago coming in right before we started the show. So there you go, Avello headed out, and we've got another Avello. It's ABC 11. So they were flying around a school or something off to the west. I was watching them on flight radar. So the news helicopters making their way in for the evening. Gotta switch hands. There we go. I think we should make ABC 11 our thumbnail. I don't think we've ever had a helicopter as our thumbnail. CRJ 900 departing now for Delta Airlines. One more month in the baby. Thank you, Marco. for the channel membership. Greatly appreciate that. Being a part of the show. So if I missed any, I do apologize. Please let me know if I missed any chats there. So Avelo, this is kind of odd because Avelo doesn't really frequent Terminal 1 side. So this may have been our island flight from earlier in the day. Not sure why they're on this side. That's the only one flight we have from Avelo that makes its way to Terminal 2. And we got a Delta CRJ on the move. This CRJ, I'm sure, is headed to New York. Find out. Marco gifting 5 Carolina Aviation memberships. Holy cow, look at this American Airlines speeding across the runway or the taxiways there. Thank you so much, Marco. That is 25 memberships, and we're not even 15 minutes into the show. Thank you guys so much for the memberships. So that departure there was Endeavor 5222. That one headed to Newark, New Jersey, basically New York. It does have a New York zip code. There's a better look at our 737-700 being towed up the hill. So again, thank you guys so much for the gifted memberships. That's 25 so far today, and we are technically 12 minutes into the show. So thank you guys for all of your support. Air France has pushed back in that 777 in any time now. Let's see if we can see. So we can still see ABC 11. Can we see Sky 5, or did they put... Nope, Sky 5 is just on the other side of our exec jet there. You can see the motorized thing that they sit on, so they can make their way in and out of their respected hangars. So that 737 for American was in a hurry. Where did it go? Running late. Got a couple of arrivals here. We've got Southwest 1388 coming in from Houston, Texas. 2 hours and 10 minutes of flight time for this 737 MAX 8. So we're going to have a little MAX attack here. Then we've got American Airlines 1888 coming in from Dallas, Fort Worth on a 737-800 over here on a 23 right. And now that 737 that was in such a hurry on the move. We're going to try once again to stay for our MD-11 departure around 9:15. Hopefully we get it tonight. That 737 rotating very early. Try not to miss a plane here if we can help it. Southwest from Houston, our next arrival. So both of these racing from the Dallas area. Well, from Texas, sorry. Houston and Dallas not really near each other. I think it's like a 2-hour drive, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know too much about Texas and distances, but Anyway, these two racing in from Texas. This one a Max 8. Nice smooth touchdown for the Max. And American 1888 from Dallas. He's gonna ride that wheelie out. Keep that nose up for a long time, didn't he? Jeff Davis. You know, that's one thing I think of every time somebody says anything about Texas. I think of that song. I grew up in the 90s, and my parents listened to country music, so that's exactly what I think of. So again, here we go. We're waiting on the American 777 as well as the Air France 777, waiting for their departures. So it's going to be interesting. We do have FedEx 785 coming in from Memphis, Tennessee. 1 hour and 14 minutes of flight time for the 767-300. That one is going to arrive in just 6 minutes. So we got a American Eagle on the pushback down here. So it's going to be loud down here for a minute. Kenneth, good evening. Join us just in time for all the heavy action this evening. So again, we're going to be out here Saturday, and so you guys know what Saturday means if you've been with the show long enough. That means we're going to have a little Lufthansa action on Saturday. So we'll do the show appropriately. Fingers crossed the wind is in our favor for Lufthansa. So that departure that was in such a hurry a moment ago, that was American Airlines 1441. That one's headed to Philadelphia. And that was another 737-800. So we also have Iceland tonight, if you guys are looking forward to Iceland. Got several Deltas. We got an American coming in from Chicago here in about 6 minutes. I was looking before we started the show if we had any special liveries tonight. Unfortunately, we don't. Looks like our next arrival is going to be that FedEx 76 from Memphis. Will Air France push back before the 76 gets here? Anytime now, we should have that pushback. ERB. So now, yeah, it is Air France today. Saturday will be Lufthansa. So we'll have that A330 on Saturday. There's FedEx coming around the corner there. So hopefully you guys will be here on Saturday afternoon. I think we're going to try to start an hour or two early on Saturday. is watching the chat. I don't know where Molly is. And I don't know where Brian Lloyd is either. So we'll see. Yeah, see, there you go. There's Miss Ramona watching over our chat, making sure the chat is safe. Corby will be here around 10. Yeah, I thought about doing an early morning show, but I don't know. Again, Saturdays have never been good days around the airport. But as far as flights in and out, if that makes sense, Saturday's always been kind of the relaxed day. It's never really busy around here, so. That is one thing that we'll just have to play by ear as far as how good or bad traffic may be on Saturday. I haven't done a Saturday stream. Man, when was the last time we did a Saturday show? I think it was when we went to Charlotte. Thomas, good afternoon. You join us just in time for this 767-300 coming in from Memphis. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is it'll be busy on Saturday for Easter, but I feel like everybody's going to fly on Friday. So hopefully we don't have to change any plans for Saturday. Hopefully we can be up here on Saturday. We don't have to go to any other locations. I don't see why we would. I think more folks will park in the long-term, cheaper parking if they decide to. And there's Air France pushing back in that 777-200 with the GEs. I watched this one come in on Flight Radar earlier, right after I finished my home repair that I had to leave work early for. We do have a slight crosswind tonight coming out of the west. I feel like that's making our arrival sound better. All right. Enjoy the 777. Greg, you're right. That is today. 13 years I've celebrated at my current job. So thank you, Greg. I honestly forgot while I was there today. It was a good day. It was busy. And then, of course, I was called home because I had a little bit of a flooding situation at my house. Some double Delta landings here. One on 23 left, one on 23 right. And as you can see, you've got an American headed out for departure, as well as a Delta A320 and a CRJ, along with our 777. I don't know if the American 777 is pushed back yet. I haven't heard anything from it yet. Normally you can hear it pretty well. It's going to be another Delta to follow. We've got a 737, I think. No, we've got a E175 sitting up in the penalty box, and you see that CRJ making their way up there as well. So you're going to have two sitting there. So let's go for Delta on a 2-3 left, as we'll get a good 2-for-1 shot there. This one, I believe, is coming from Houston. Nope, this one's coming from LaGuardia. This is Republic Airways at 5831 on E175. You can see them fighting the breeze. It's not terribly windy. It's windy enough to blow me around. The flags are straight out this afternoon. Is forced to wait. And so we got another Delta. I believe this one's from LAX. Confirm that after touchdown here. Sound quality or sound levels. That's how you know the wind's blowing in the right direction. So that one coming in from so many planes on the ground. Yep, that was Delta 689 coming in from Los Angeles on that 737 at 900. Over here on 23 left, we've got a little banana action. NXS 329. That is Spirit Airlines coming in a A321-200. So we'll go to the banana in just a moment. So again, if you guys are just joining us, welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday. That sounds like the American 777. Over there behind us. Yeah, I had ATC. ATC's given all of us problems. If we're using the ATC Live app, it's been giving us all problems lately, unfortunately. I'm not the only one that's had issues with it. Pip and I were talking about it the other day. Let's reopen it and see if we can get you guys some ATC here. See if we can make it work. So it is open, ready to go. some Spirit as the Air France gets a move on. Nice flare at the end for the big yellow plane, Spirit Airlines. We got a 737 on the move. From Delta. Gonna lose it there behind the pole. American A321 up next for departure. Got a lot happening here, so bear with me if we don't get all of the flight information. Like this Delta right here. That is Delta 2600. That's headed to Atlanta on a 737-9GP. This one right here headed to Charlotte, if I had to guess. Seems like the only airport using the A321s right now is Charlotte for us. So it is. That's American 1894 headed back to Charlotte. And our American 777-174 Heavy is in fact in view. There's the 777 getting ready to head back to London. So fingers crossed we get a little double back-to-back heavy departures here tonight. See you, Marco. Have a good evening. Probably see you tomorrow. Let's see. Is Air France going to wait? I don't think so. I don't think we have any arrivals. Yeah, we do. We've got Delta 2782 coming in from Boston, Massachusetts. It's going to be our next arrival, but it does look like Air France is going to go in front of this A220-100. So they're in a hurry to get out of here. Alright, enjoy the 777 departure.
Customer departure, good day. 2782,
E174 heavy leaving, well, quite heavy tonight. No early rotation for that one like we had with Air France. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the sound difference between the GEs and the Trents there. Good sound comparison between the two. They both sound equally fantastic in my opinion. So let's see, where is Delta from? So that Delta is Delta 1097 coming in from Atlanta, Georgia. Our next departure is going to be Delta 1275 headed back to Tampa on an A320. So there's that A320 that made its way out there. We did have that E175 leave the penalty box a moment ago, so it is out there at the end of the runway ready for departure. Looks like we're going to CRJ Delta. I believe this is a Delta CRJ. Daniel, good evening. And DB, good evening. Mattman, good evening as well. Brian Lloyd. Good evening as well. So thank you guys for spending your Wednesday evening with us. Let's get some flight info on that. We're about to have a whale right here behind us, or right here in front of us. And that Delta CRJ is already off flight radar. Oh no, there it is. Flight radar glitching. That is Endeavor 5322 coming in from Washington, D.C. via DCA Ronald Reagan. And we had an American out there at the end ready to go. That E175. So we do have this JetBlue A220. Don't know that we can read the name on it from here. Yeah, there we go. Based on a Blue story. Nice look at this Delta 737. I think this is the one from Atlanta. Waiting for a gate. As we do have that American E175. This is going to be a Republic Airways flight here. So there you go, you see JetBlue getting ready to get a move on. Should be a great sounding movement. Looks like we got a United about to join the party as well. Atlantic Airways 4690 headed to JFK. I'm sure this one's on its way to JFK or LaGuardia as well. Southwell, good evening. Happy Wednesday to you. Hopefully you didn't work too hard today. Another good rotation by the CRJ. And like I said, we got that United on the move, but we are waiting on the beautiful A220 from JetBlue. So Air France and the American 777 on flight radar, racing it to the Atlantic. I wish they would have been right back to back, though. That would have been fantastic. With nobody in the middle. Doesn't have to wait for that Delta to get out of the way. I do think that Delta's waiting for a gate. There's our Delta there at the top of the screen. Looks like our next arrival is going to be United. This is going to be Mesa Airlines, though. This one arriving in just 7 minutes. This one coming in from Washington Dulles. It's another E175LR. United was about to go for it. They moved up pretty quickly like they were about to. Come on, little A220. Everybody's waiting to hear your whale call. Is going to get a move on now. JetBlue's definitely taking their sweet time. So there goes Delta. Delta was waiting for that other 737. This one's clean in comparison to the one that just left, it looks like. That other one looked dirty. Yeah, they had to they had to step into the lab. Looks like there's about to be an American Eagle pushback as well, so JetBlue needs to move on out and go wait in the other part of the alleyway. So again, we are only 16 away from reaching 4,900 today, by the way. So let's see, now we are 11 subscribers away from reaching 4,900. So if you guys haven't subscribed, please do so. Again, we are 11 away. Boy, they sure are taking a long time, aren't they? I don't think I've ever seen a JetBlue take this long back here in the alley. But at least it's not like the E175s or the CRJs where they're super loud. Mattman gifting our 26th membership tonight. Thank you, Mattman. Greatly appreciated to all of you guys who have gifted memberships tonight. Stevie, Marco, RWB, Mattman. So thank you guys for gifting out memberships this evening on a Wednesday evening. Beautiful. Not a cloud in the sky here in RDU. Breezy, but not a cloud in the sky. Thank you, Ramona, gifting 10 Carolina Aviation memberships as well. That is 36 memberships tonight. Thank you so much, Ramona. Thank you to all of you guys so much. Huge support for the channel. You have no idea how much that supports the channel. All right, enjoy the A220. Thank you, Ramona. It's really weird how YouTube works, Lynn. It really, truly is weird. One day you could get 2 months worth of gifted memberships and then, not see another gifted membership forever. Again, it's all random, by the way. We don't select who gets those memberships. It is all luck of the draw. So 30 of you are able to use all of our emojis. 36 of you, in fact. Miss Carolina gifting another one. That is 41 Carolina Aviation memberships gifted tonight. Holy cow. I think that's the most gifted memberships we've ever had on a show. Maybe not. Miss Carolina can correct me on it. She keeps more of a count than I do, but I believe that is pretty close to a record for the amount of gifted memberships in one episode of the show. 41. So congratulations to the 41 of you who got memberships tonight. All right, so let's talk about who was leaving Delta 2028 headed to Salt Lake City on the 737-900. Southwest was Southwest 1788 headed to St. Louis. And our next arrival, again, is Ash 6014. This is Mesa Airlines. But I see something a little more unique. Hold on. This almost looked green when it turned the corner, but looking at it on the camera, it looks blue. Is it blue or is it green? Let's give that a minute. What do you guys think? Is that blue or is it green? It looks green to my eye, but when I look at it on the camera, it does look blue, in fact. Or is it a mixture of both and I just can't tell? As Mesa Airlines touches down from Washington, D.C. See, that's what I thought. Blue on the camera, but when it turned the corner, it was definitely green. Maybe it's one of those color shifting paint schemes. We got another Southwest on the way out. JetBlue still not ready to go, as you guys saw there a moment ago. JetBlue pulling out of the alleyway so American Eagle can get a move on. That's what you're hearing start up now, that E175. Lynn says turquoise on her screen. We may never know what actual color it is. I'm seeing two different colors. You guys are seeing different colors. But definitely on the screen it looked blue. So there you go, another Southwest 737 MAX 8. Making its way out to the end of the runway. To 23 left. I like the lighting better on 23 left. Miss Molly, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Happy Wednesday. And that American Eagle already on the move. JetBlue, again, still sitting at the end of the alleyway. It did slightly move down. For 23 left is just so much better. Thank you, Greg. Yep, 13 long years. We were talking about it over in Nelia's show yesterday. Somebody asked what I did. So there we go. And I think he's got his hand up because he can't see. Southwest on the move. A little 2-for-1 shot here, kind of. Looks like Frontier is going to be our next arrival. Southwest is Southwest 2667. This one is that MAX 8 headed to Chicago Midway, headed up to see Matt Man. As our A220 poses in the sunlight. So, let's see. Who's going to be our next arrival? We have an American coming in from the south, and we have Frontier coming from the north. So we got Frontier 4843, Mitch the Wolverine livery, coming in from Philadelphia, 52 minutes of flight time for this A321-200, arriving in just 2 minutes. Or so it says. It looks farther away than that. And our American is coming from Charlotte. That's American 1799. Another A321-200. 21 minutes of flight time for this one. Man, they must have caught one heck of a tailwind. Again, they're not going to arrive for another 10 minutes. So it will be right on par with their normal arrival times. Or flight times, I should say. About 28 minutes of flight time between here and Charlotte. Southwest said it to Creedmoor. Yeah, 13 years. Lots happened in those 13 years, not only in work life, but personal life as well. So, I don't know that I've seen Mitch the Wolverine livery. I think this might be one that I've never seen. Thank you, Greg. 102 likes. Make sure you guys smash the like button. I did set our like goal for 150 tonight, as opposed to 250, being that this is such a shorter show than our Sunday show. Again, if you're just joining us, we won't be here Sunday. We'll be here on a Saturday to give you guys that Lufthansa action at A330. And let's see if our thing has changed here. We're now 8 subscribers away from 4,900. So hopefully by the end of the night, we reach 4,900 subscribers. Thank you guys for smashing that subscribe button as well as the like button. So you guys saw the 737. We also had that E175. Now an A321 from Delta on the way out. As we await Frontier, Mitch the Wolverine. So Mitch, right there. So it took Mitch 56 minutes to get from Philadelphia to here. by the time Mitch lands, it'll probably be about 58 minutes or so. E175 out there at the end.
We're on a right base, 10 miles for runway 6 direct.
So there you go. You heard the call from American 1799 coming in from Charlotte. That one turning right base. And we have Iceland. Ice 821 coming in from Reykjavik. 5 hours and 58 minutes for the 737 MAX 9, now arriving in just 8 minutes. They must have caught a good wind too. Normally this is about a 7-hour flight. So I think Iceland's going to be number 2 for arrival, behind American 1799. Hopefully this E175 will rotate nice and early. There we go, that's what we like to see. Again, good evening. Rapid fire departures. Another American 737 on the move. I'll try to give you guys both of those flight infos in just a moment. Parking garage. There's American 1799. Feeling JetBlue is definitely going to have to move before Iceland. I was trying to fix that dimming out when we passed the roof there, but my camera's not having any of it tonight. A321. So the E175 is Republic Airways 4742 headed back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then American Airlines 1701 headed to Miami on that 737. We've got another Southwest on the move. That Southwest is headed to, that's Southwest 1697 headed to Denver. This one here is not up on flight radar yet. Our next arrival is going to be Iceland. They're turning on final finally. Delta there, that A321's headed to Minneapolis. That's Delta 2699. So they upgraded that one from an A320 to an A321 this week. Actually, I think it started out as an A319. So that must be a pretty popular flight there to Minneapolis to make that many equipment changes. So if Iceland's going to go to the corner gate, I feel like this one might have to move. So again, Southwest 1697, that's headed to Denver. That was a MAX 8. And then we have our MAX 9 coming in from Reykjavik. 6 hours and 6 minutes of flight time. By the time the MAX touches down here, So it looks like United's headed up the hill here for the penalty box. I'm gonna wait for a little while longer here. I'm really surprised they haven't put this one in the box instead of allowing him to sit right there. So again, our next arrival, Iceland from Reykjavik. So we'll see where that one's going to go here in just a minute. Don't see any wing walkers out here just yet to pick that one up. Normally they go right here on the corner. There's a lot of equipment shuffling going on right there, but don't see anybody out there yet to greet it. So hopefully we'll get Iceland right here. We got our FedEx ATR coming in just 15 minutes. That ATR 72600. So for those of you that like the props, that one arriving in just 13 minutes now. That's Mountain Air Cargo 7503. It's a FedEx feeder. And that one's coming in from Newbern. The one from Ramona Town will be in just a little bit later. Vincent, good evening. Showing up just in time for your favorite, the ATR. The lighting should still be good by the time we get that ATR. There they come. Guys coming out here to greet Iceland. I swear Iceland always has the best lighting when it lands. It doesn't matter what time of the season it lands, always has the best lighting. Nice 2-for-1 shot there of Iceland and JetBlue. Dang, quick turnaround for Spirit. Spirit about to go back to Miami or Fort Lauderdale. One of the two. Spirit's headed it back to Miami. Our buddy Captain Carolina is not working tonight, unfortunately. We'd probably have a good shot of him down there on the ramp working Iceland, but unfortunately he's not with us tonight I think he said he was off on Wednesday. As I bump the camera. Come on, Spirit, give us a minute get Iceland in. So Spirit's going to be heading out of here on that A321 at 200. Again, back to Miami. Spirit's not going to give us much time, are they? The banana plane must leave. Watched a documentary type deal on them. There's a guy I like to watch called Bright Sun Films. He does like abandoned places, and he's got a series called Bankrupt. He does a couple other things, but he gives some really, really good history. Puts a lot of effort into his videos. So he has an interesting one up about Spirit Airlines and their turmoils and troubles and trying to get their stuff back together, and a brief history on Spirit Airlines. I didn't know Spirit was as old as it was or is. They used to fly charter flights to Atlantic City. That's how they started. And they did it for cheap. Holy cow, Vincent gifted 22. So what is that? 60 gifted memberships tonight. 61. Gotta find it. Hold on. There it is. Thank you so much, Vincent. That is 61 gifted memberships tonight. So I greatly, man, oh man, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys. That really helps the channel. You guys have no idea. I don't know if it was a mob, but they did. They used to, so they had limited flights. They were based, and still are based, out of Fort Lauderdale, from what I understand. And they used to fly people for really low fares up to Atlantic City. Then they bought a couple more planes, and then of course, you know, that's how business works. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I think what really messed them up was COVID. It was one of the downfalls to Spirit. So again, thank you so much to all of you who have gifted memberships today. 61. I think that right there, Miss Carolina might be able to tell me, but I think 61 gifted memberships is the record for the show. We beat the record by one, if I'm not mistaken. She follows all those kind of stats per show. So we do have that 737 MAX from United hiding in the penalty box here, waiting for their departure slot a little later on. I'm assuming that's what JetBlue's doing. JetBlue's been over there for what? half hour or more waiting to leave. So this one about 20 minutes or so here. Well, so let's see. Since we're gifting out memberships and stuff, have we crossed it? No, we are count them 4 subscribers away from being at 4,900. So if you're not subscribed, like the 47% of you that watch the show aren't, please subscribe to the channel. I saw that statistic the other day. 47% of our viewers aren't even subscribed to the channel. So please, make sure you subscribe if you're not already. That's a crazy stat. I didn't even realize it until I was scrolling through some of our stats. All right, so this Delta E175 getting a move on. Oops, had to take a step. Good evening. Terry coming from Lexington, Kentucky. We don't have any flights from Lexington. Alright, so our FedEx feeder is getting ready to turn left on base here in just a minute. That was Republic 5816 headed to LaGuardia. Thought maybe it was the one headed to Houston, but it's not. And again, Spirit to Miami. We do have Delta 2992 coming in from Miami in 6 minutes. And again, at Mountain Air Cargo 7503, that FedEx feeder coming in from Newbern. 27 minutes of flight time. 29 by the time they land. An ATR 72600. So for those of you that really enjoy the props, we're about to have our nightly FedEx, 1 of 2. I don't know if the other one's left Wilmington just yet or not. Not yet. Ah, here we go. We got some arrivals in the distance. Couple from Miami, it looks like. So that Delta from Miami, it looks like we've got American 2105 coming in from Miami in about 9 minutes. Delta in just a few minutes. So there's our FedEx feeder is about to go behind the tower there. That's already gone. We'll see it pop out there in just a minute. I know I need to get some more emojis made. I need to email Scott, because with 60 plus new members tonight, I definitely think we have a lot of room for some new emojis. So I'll have to text Scott and see if we can get him to make us some more beautiful emojis. A huge shout out to Scott, as well as a huge shout out to Madeira Woman Spotter, an affiliate of ours, as well as Miss Ramona. If you guys haven't gone, Miss Ramona has 50 subscribers now on YouTube, so make sure you guys go over and check out Ramona Aviation. She's got a lot of great videos up from her week on holiday this past week. So make sure you guys go check out both of those channels. As well as our buddy Pip. He went out to San Diego. If you guys don't follow him as well, go over there and check him out. But Ramona's really on fire with her videos. I think she does it all with an iPhone too. There we go. Sing to me, A220. So there you go, Zoe posting all of our emojis. Thank you, Zoe. It was good to see you up here a little while ago before we started the show. FedEx. Feeder touching down from New Bern. As the A220 sings to us. Noisy ATR. You can definitely hear the ATR all over the place. Like, it doesn't matter where you're at, you can hear the ATR at almost any location at the airport when they come in, when they're down at their terminal. So here we go, everybody getting a move on now. So JetBlue's moving and United coming out of the penalty box. We do have a departure about to happen. Looks like American Airlines 1888 headed to Dallas Fort Worth. 737-800. I'm going to stick with the ATR here though. Hey, Scott, there you are. Was just talking about you, sir. So there goes that ATR. As we have Delta, our next arrival, Delta 2992 coming in from Miami. 1 hour and 45 minutes of flight time for this one. This one in an A319. There's United in that MAX coming out of the penalty box. So you can still hear the ATR. And he's way down there. Doing that one engine taxi. You can still hear him. Alright, let's go to Southwest and that golden hour departure here. Looks like another MAX, possibly. MAX 8. And back to Delta. Delta gonna get off there early. Wait, which... So United, it looks like United's headed back to the gate. Or to a gate. They were possibly waiting for one. So we'll see how that unfolds. It definitely looks like they're headed back to the gates. So Southwest 1543 headed to Nashville, Tennessee, Music City. And that was the 737 MAX 8. Next arrival, though, is American Airlines 2105. Arriving in 2 minutes. That one coming in from Miami. 1 hour and 37 minutes of flight time for the 737-8. What all do we have done down here to our MAX 9?
This information X-ray about 8 miles to the east of the field. Would like 32 for the dog ramp.
good morning from Australia. M&J with a $2 super chat says, we've never flown into RDU, always CLT. Great show. Thank you for joining us. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. You guys are absolutely amazing this evening. As always, thank you guys for watching the show. A lot more folks watching tonight than I had anticipated. So thank you guys for spending your Wednesday evening with us. We need to get back to Charlotte. We do shows from Charlotte too every now and then. We need to try to get back to Charlotte one day. The last time we tried a Charlotte show, we got rained out, so we weren't able to put on a show. So I had a family day in Charlotte. We did try though. We definitely did try to give you guys a show. We went out to the airport, hung out, explored the Overlook with the kids for the first time they had been to Charlotte since the new Overlook opened. Unfortunately though, the wind or the rain just would not let up on us long enough to do a show. Still a great day nonetheless. Here we go, finally. This JetBlue, after sitting almost an hour waiting for departure. We've got a couple Americans on final, both on 23 left and 23 right. As JetBlue, I believe, is going to head back to Boston. Let's see. This is a JetBlue 684, and it is headed to Boston on that A220-300. So again, thank you to each and every one of you for coming and watching the show. That really, really helps the show. Coming out, showing your support. So we do have this pair of Americans touching down. The first one on 23 rights, Republic 4596, coming in from Nashville, Tennessee. Just some coming from Music City. The other one on 23 left is Republic Airways 4497. That one coming from New York via LaGuardia. So a couple of E175s for American Eagle. You're very welcome, Matt Man. It's good to be back on the night shows. At least one night show a week. I know how much you guys enjoy the night shows. So I'm more than happy to bring them to you. Really, really late for you over there. Almost, midnight? Past midnight? So thank you for joining us. See you tomorrow in your show. If you guys want to watch some exciting arrivals on the island of Madeira, go watch her in the morning around 9:30. She should be on. The Eagle has landed. The American Eagle. We got one about to push back just below us. This another E-175. So again, one of those from LaGuardia, that one we just watched touchdown. The first one coming in from Nashville, Tennessee. So we got American at 7:37, ready for departure. Good evening. How much of this are we going to lose? Not too much. There you go, quick peek at the sunset. Unfortunately, of course, as you guys know, where I have chosen the spot, we don't really see the sunset too much, but there you go. I'll give you guys a little shot of the sunset this evening. So there's our American Eagle from Nashville. Next arrival looks like it's going to be United. United 2192 coming in from Newark, New Jersey. 1 hour and 4 minutes of flight time for the 737 MAX 9. Speaking of nighttime, let's go ahead and get set up here for the dark. Shall we? There's our MAX 9 from Newark. what you're hearing and what you're about to hear. A little bit of an odd sounding startup for this E175. Nonetheless. So our other FedEx feeder is on the way. That is Mountain Air Cargo 7508 coming in from Ramona Aviation Town. 23 minutes until arrival for that one. We've got a Delta on the way coming in from LaGuardia, New York. Endeavor 5232. Arriving in 15 minutes. Got a whole host coming in from the northeast, it looks like. A couple from the northwest. So our goal tonight is to stay for the MD-11. So hopefully we'll have that MD-11 departure tonight. And the last couple of Wednesday episodes we haven't had the MD-11 departure, unfortunately. It is scheduled to go out around 9:17 tonight, I believe. Thank you, Brian Lloyd. 129 likes. 20 likes away from our goal. What do we got coming in over here? This is not on flight radar. I expect it to be an exec jet. So if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please do so. There's 137 of you folks watching. Trying to make it to 150. Again, we're still 4 subscribers away from 4,900. As the E175s change positions here. Thank you, Dino. Welcome to the show. Oh, this is that really unique looking one, isn't it? We saw this one here last week, over the weekend. I like this one. I don't know what it is about the orange and the yellow, but I do like this one. It's so unique. We'll see that one again in a minute if I don't forget. Looks like we got Mesa Airlines on the move too. This United Express operated by Mesa. This one going to head back to Washington Dulles, I believe. think Captain Carolina is off tonight. Otherwise, we would have had him on Iceland, I think. But unfortunately, he's off. So here comes another E-175. I did see that, Jackie, that you guys had the Antonov over there in Brisbane. So if you guys are new to the channel and you see Brian Lloyd typing in the word bells, so that is for the Jetways here. If you guys can see the Jetway moving, they have bells on them. I always say they remind me of a carnival. So Molly come up with a game for you guys to play there in the chat. Either use the bell emoji or just type in the word bells. Her and I play it in person. We were playing it on Sunday when she was here. I beat her, of course. No, hands down. I beat her on Sunday. So, but it's just a fun game that our wonderful moderator Molly came up with for you guys to do there in the chat. Jeremy, good evening. I love this Gulfstream. Like, I don't know what it is about this one, but I do see it quite often here. Just like the color combination of it. Molly, you lost by a lot. Do we though? Do we know the truth? I think I beat you over the weekend. And now I really wish we had Ward coming in tonight. Sorry, Molly. No Ward the Beaver for you. So it looks like we got one of those E-175s ready for departure. And 23 right. It is our American Eagle E-175. We do have that United E-175 out there operated by Mesa Airlines. I'll give you the flight information on this one as soon as it leaves. General Ave there. Check out that Gulfstream. So that one, that departure is American Eagle operated by Envoy Air. That's headed to Matman in Chicago O'Hare. That was that E-175 LR. The other one is Mesa Airlines out there, that United Express. That one is headed to Washington, D.C. via Dulles. And then we have our CRJ coming in from LaGuardia, Endeavor 5232. That one arriving now in just 2 minutes. And our Mountain Air cargo is getting closer as well. Number 2 of 2. ATRs. This one again coming in from Ramona Town, coming in from Wilmington, North Carolina. Just a few minutes. How much do you guys want to bet that it comes in on 23 left? They seem to like to spread the love when it comes to the airport. 23 right, 23 left. They never both come in on the same runway. Which is really weird in my opinion, but you know who well, I guess we did start the show with Breeze, didn't we? Did we see a Breeze yet tonight? Figured we would have seen at least one. Is that Delta A220 from Boston? Yep, there it is. He's got that engine idling just right. So this one's going to go back to Boston. That's an A220-100. He is letting that A220 sing, that is for sure. So Mountain Air Cargo, 12 minutes away, but we do have that CRJ next from LaGuardia. So there's that CRJ just beyond the tower there. So let's do one more check on our sub count here. I know how much you guys enjoy that. And we did it. 4,900 subscribers. So thank you guys. Maybe we'll get lucky Saturday and we'll get 80 new subs like we did a couple of Sundays ago. And get us right there to 5,000. So we've got to beat Mattman. Mattman said, what dates did you say, Mattman, that we would hit 5,000? So we are now just 100 away from reaching 5,000. It's been a lot of hard work getting as many as we have. We are definitely growing. Thank you guys for liking what you see. I try to put on the best shows each week for you guys. So thank you for joining us, joining the show. The night's not done yet. You never know. We may get 10 or 15 more. You never know. And a huge shout out to all of the new members that were gifted. 61 gifted memberships tonight. So I think that is really close to a record, if not beating it by 1 or 2. So Endeavor from LaGuardia. Delta's going to turn out early. Get a good look at our Mantis here. If you guys don't know why I call it a Mantis, the way the landing gear doors open when they look at you, it looks like a Mantis to me. So we're missing 8 likes from 150 likes tonight. So if you guys haven't done that as well, please smash the like button. That also helps the channel get seen. Looks like our next arrival is going to be American Airlines 979 coming in from Dallas, Fort Worth. This one, 2 hours and 4 minutes of flight time for the 737-800. Again, I was really hoping that we would have some sort of special liveries tonight, but I didn't see any on flight radar before we started the show. Here we go. Delta headed back to Boston in that A220. Let's see if this pilot is as fun as the other A220 Delta pilots. Because when they fly out of here, they fly out of here. Yep, there he goes. This is probably the most exciting takeoff for Delta. Never fails. It's like a rocket for them. We've seen it a lot out of the Delta A220 pilots leaving here. There's American from Dallas. So again, that Delta is headed to Boston. That is Delta 2393 A220-100. You know, Chase, I wondered the same thing when they're taxiing and stuff. I don't know. I wonder if certain planes have cameras to help them stay on center line. I don't think so, but most of the time they're pretty good at it. That is a very good question, Daniel. One that I've often wondered to myself. Daniel asks, why doesn't American or United fly the A220? That is a very good question. I think Breeze employs the most A220s in the U.S., I think. It's got to be them or JetBlue. Of 737s lately. I think the only major hub connection that hasn't or that they don't use the 737 is Charlotte, where they're still using the A321s. That was kind of my thought, was cost, maybe. I don't know. But you know, I wonder if they'll change their mind when, well, we know what's going on in the world. But, so A220s are built between Canada and Alabama. So that may change their mind. I saw that Delta put a hold on all of their Airbus products. Yes, the Nikon will focus here. There we go. For our FedEx ATR coming in from Wilmington. Yeah, so I saw an interesting thing that they're talking about putting a hold on all of their Airbus stuff right now. But, like I said, the A220, I don't know if its final assembly is in Alabama or not. I mean, either way, it's going to make the cost of the planes go up, but you know who I don't think is going to benefit from this? Boeing. Because Boeing doesn't offer... What do they got? They got the 737, that's it. You know, they can't offer the airlines the mid-size market or the, not necessarily regional, because A220s are bigger than the regionals. So, you know, they need something like a 757 again, or something like that, I feel like, in order to keep up with that market. So I definitely don't think, I mean, Boeing might win in all this shenanigans, but I have a feeling they're not. Because they really don't have anything other than the 737. So who knows what's going to happen. Speaking of American and Boeing, thank you, Brian Lloyd, giving us that update. We reached our second goal of the night of 151 likes. Thank you guys again for smashing that like button. We did roll over 4,900 new subscribers tonight, so thank you guys for liking what you see. Next arrival is going to be American Airlines 2985 coming in from Philadelphia. 52 minutes of a flight time for this 737-800. There's our FedEx ATR. Sorry, American, we see you quite a bit. The ATRs we don't get a chance to see up close. Now with the time change and daylight lasting longer, this is a wonderful shot of the ATR. The other question I have is why don't they invest in the E2s? Nobody has an E2 in the United States. I know Porter in Canada has the Embraer E2s. You would think one of these American airlines would hop on board with that as well, but I guess not. But on the flip side of that, you guys know JetBlue is trying to retire all of their E190s out of their fleet. And I think they're replacing most of those with the A220, if not the A320s and A321s. I think Breeze is another one that's trying to get rid of all of their E190s as well. And they're trying to go strictly A220 fleet. So it'll be interesting to see over the next couple of years what happens as aircraft are faded out. So again, this American 737 coming in from Philadelphia. About a 54-minute flight. laying heavy on the reverse thrust there. Lots and lots of American over here. I wasn't expecting that 737 to be at the end of the terminal there. Next arrival, speaking of JetBlue 1185. This was the flight that my family was supposed to be on Sunday, and they didn't arrive until 9:30. Again, they were coming back from London. They were exhausted by the time they got home. They did give us a wonderful flashlight shot there out the window when they touched down on this flight. So this one's coming in from JFK. 1 hour and 5 minutes of flight time for another A220-300. So hopefully we'll get this A220 back here in the alleyway. Up close and personal. That one arriving, well, it's coming out from behind the tower now. Arriving in 1 minute. So Jeremy, I haven't heard. I do have contacts here in the airport that give me a lot of info, but that's not something that he's given me info on. He did say that the 777 holds more passengers, so that's why they did make that change. When they changed from the Dreamliner over to the A350, apparently the A350 was a better product for passengers. Now they need more room for more passengers, so that's why they've implemented the 777-200 right now. Whether or not they'll go back to the A350, I don't know. Would I love to see the A350 come back? Absolutely. Maybe they'll bring it back for the fall. We were talking about May 17th a couple episodes ago. Maybe that was this past Sunday. So there is a Facebook group, not my Facebook group, but the RDU Spotting Facebook group. There's a meetup May the 17th. I looked. Some people were worried that I wouldn't be off that weekend. I'll be off. I should be hanging out with everybody on the 17th, hopefully. I need to make sure I get on there and join so they know that I'll be hanging out with them. I have my own group on Facebook, but I don't ever use it. I don't use Facebook, by the way, if you guys don't know that already. Facebook just annoys me. I'd much rather use Instagram for anything, like messaging and stuff like that. If you guys get in contact with me, that's typically the best place to do it is Instagram. And sometimes it takes me a couple of days. I don't know what it is about the my Carolina Aviation Instagram, but man, I get a lot of spam emails, so I have to sit and go through and make sure I don't miss anybody's email as I delete emails. So Instagram, sometimes it takes me a minute to get to you guys. If you guys do message me over there. Dang, he turned the ident light and everything off on the A220. We'll have that one back here in our face in just a minute. We'll check out Iceland again. So I don't know if I'll be live for the meetup or not. I haven't decided yet, and I haven't talked to any of the admin yet to figure out what the actual plans are. I just know there's a meetup here at the airport. I need to get in touch with the admins and find out whether or not maybe we do a show, maybe we don't. I honestly don't know. I know it's just a day to come and hang out. They had one recently in Charlotte they wanted me to go to. Unfortunately, that one was on a weekend that I had to work. Strawberries and cream pastry. Alright, while we wait on JetBlue, let's look and see where our next arrival is. We got PSA arriving in about 15 minutes, coming from Washington, D.C. We got an American up on flight radar here, getting ready to head out. This one's going to be American Airlines 1904. We're going to go back to Charlotte on A321. We got one that's not on flight radar coming in. Looks like a... no, maybe it is on flight radar. Looks like a Cirrus SR-22T coming in from Birmingham. That's a private owner. 2 hours and 23 minutes flight time for the SR-22. Don't know that we'll be able to see it now that it's dark, to be honest. The smaller planes at night are a little harder to get. Please don't tell me that JetBlue has gone to the front side of Terminal 2. I was looking forward to having that A220 back here. Looks like we got a Delta getting ready for departure, as well as that American to Charlotte. I think JetBlue tricked us. I think they did go to the front side of the terminal over there. Same, Jeremy. The 757, absolutely. For Iceland. What is that? The Aurora Borealis livery, I think. I really would like to see that one. So here's our Cirrus 22. See, it doesn't look good at night, so it makes it hard for me to get the smaller ones. So again, we are less than an hour left in the show, probably about an hour left in tonight's show. We're going to go for that MD-11 departure here at 8:15. Fingers crossed we actually have it tonight. Last couple of Wednesday nights, we haven't had our MD-11 departure. So there's that SR-22. Got a couple more Mountain Air cargos coming in. Those are the Cessna Grand Caravans coming in for UPS now. Flying in from all the different towns out there on the coast. 158 likes. Thank you, Brian, for the update. 2 likes away from 160. I think we'll probably end the show with 165 likes. What do you guys think? So let's try to brighten that up just a little. There we go, he's close enough now. But that was a fun flight, 2 hours and some change for the little one there. So that Delta we were looking at, that's Delta 462. That one's headed to LAX, headed out to Los Angeles. And of course we still have our Charlotte flight, American Airlines 1904. As I bump into the camera. So a lot of little ones landing right now. So we got one on final here, one of the smaller ones. Here's one of our Grand Caravans, I think. I'll have to look at it with the camera to know. It is. This one another, this one for UPS. So I think there's about 5 or 6 of these that fly in each night for UPS. Coming in from some of the smaller towns off to the east. And we've got an American Eagle E175 pushback. Getting ready to happen now. This one right here.
Dispatch 532, Density Charlie and Joey, approximately 22 left, remain on this frequency, the caravan on Alpha 2.
Thank you, Matt Man, for that update. 76. You know what? I'll put that up on. That is really surprising. Matt Man with the A220 info. I figured it would have been Breeze taking the most A220s, but nope. Looks like Delta doing the right thing and adding as many of them to their fleet as possible. As we watch our A321 get a move on back to Charlotte. Our pushback. We do have that Delta 737 out at the end of the runway now. That's going to be Delta. That's going to be our LAX flight, Delta 462. Headed to Los Angeles. I imagine this one will be leaving heavy as well. Some beautiful colors over there off to the west. From that wonderful sunset. What are you guys watching in there, huh? You watching the safety videos? Do they even? I don't think they have safety videos on the regionals. You guys watching Carolina Aviation in there? All right, we got something interesting happening. First one there on your screen was red, just like the other two. So I don't know what this... What do we got? We got some military stuff happening here. Oh, these are Apaches, Blackhawks, Apaches, I think. Possibly. Let's go with our closest one here. You never know what it might be. It could be a F-15 again. But I think it's going to be a helicopter. These are coming in on the runway. Nope, they are the helicopters. I hear them now. Have come in earlier when we can actually see you touching down and stuff. Thank you, Brian Lloyd. There's 3 of them. It's got a fuel truck on the move too, so maybe they're just coming in snagging some fuel, maybe? I don't know. Maybe they'll come in here and taxi across the runway over to the reserve over there. Set of Apaches. 3 of them touching down, taxiing in over here for some reason. I'm assuming they're stopping here for fuel, but Honestly, can't tell where they're trying to make them go. Hey, we got a Frontier out at the end of the runway. It looks like our next arrival is going to be PSA 5407 coming in from Washington, D.C. via Ronald Reagan. That is a CRJ 701ER. We'll have that one back here in the alleyway. And we got somebody headed to the penalty box. We got an American coming up the hill. So there they go. They're directing those helicopters into place. Definitely something a little bit different. I wish they would have come in a couple hours ago instead of now, but I always love checking out the military stuff. As PSA touches down from DC, we'll grab that one's taxi in a minute. As we check out these three. They're going to move them one more time. I think he was corralling them all three together, and now he's telling them all to move. So interesting. They need more lights over there. So we can see what's going on. Looks like we're about to have a departure. Frontier Airlines. It's going to be Mitch. Mitch is going to head back to Philadelphia. That's going to be Frontier 4844. An A321-200. Mitch, the Wolverine livery. So Mitch came from Philly earlier this evening. About to head back that way. PSA from DC. another Frontier coming here in just 20 minutes. That's Marshall, the ring-tailed cat, coming in from MCO. And we're about to be under attack by Southwest. We got 4 Southwests all in a row here. The first one's going to be here in about 20 minutes, coming in from Nashville. That's going to be a Max. The second one is going to be from Chicago. That's going to be an 800. Third one's going to be from Phoenix. That's going to be another 800. And the fourth one's going to be from St. Louis. It's going to be another 800. So only one of those are going to be a Max. We also have an American from DCA. That one, an A319. We also got another one from Miami, American Airlines. So we're going to get busy one more time before we end the show again. Our goal is to get the departure of the MD-11 tonight. And here we go. Iceland pushing back on time. It is 8, well, maybe not. So here we go. Iceland on the move. So our next arrival is going to be Delta 1518 from Atlanta. This one is 737-9 GP. I don't think I've got any co-workers on board this one tonight. I know the last 2 weeks we've had some of my co-workers coming back from school. All right, Zoe, have a wonderful rest of your evening. We'll see you on a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, depending on what time we decide to start the show. So again, no show on Sunday this week. Gonna move it to Saturday. Give you guys that Lufthansa action. But now we've got Iceland. And then we should be under attack by Southwest. Those were just the ones coming in from the northeast. I don't know if we've got any coming in from the southeast or not. Oh, we got another Frontier. I zoomed out too far. So, nope, that's the one that just left. Never mind. It looked like it was following Delta. Those are closer than 20 minutes. There's no way that's 15 minutes away. Flight radar. I love flight radar, but they've been glitchy lately. So we get the sound of those Mad Maxes starting. I like to call them the Mad Maxes when they start. They sound angry. I don't think anybody on this flight's watching Carolina Aviation either. We've got a United on the way out. I think that's at Max. That angry sound from those Max engines. We've got a United Max headed out. I think that's the one that sat in the penalty box waiting for a gate earlier this evening. Sorry, Daniel. Yeah, I had to move Sunday's show over to Saturday this week. I've got to make a quick change to the show this evening, so give me 1 minute. So there we go. I had to make a quick adjustment there. We're gonna send you guys over to Nelia tomorrow morning. So make sure if you guys, when I send you over to Nelia's show, make sure you guys leave a like over there, as well as make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning. I think 9:30 is going to be her start time. Hopefully it'll be another beautiful windy day in Madeira. So we're going to send it her way tonight. I need to start doing that. I need to start sending it to her. She does a great job over there, as well as, you know, she is one of our wonderful affiliate channels. Man, our airspace just lit up, mostly with Southwest, but it did light up nonetheless. Walking Beyond, thank you so much. I'm glad you could join us. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for saying hi in the chat. But if you guys could do me that huge favor, go over there and like her show for tomorrow. Also, our very own Ramona Aviation, please go over and like and subscribe to her channel as well. She's put up some really amazing videos this week. She's been working really hard this week on her holiday. She's put up a ton of wonderful videos. Hopefully I've liked all of them between her Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. She's put in a lot of hard work, so make sure you guys go over and check out Ramona as well. Agreed. I think a couple more flights from Toronto would be good, or they could bring their 737s. I'd be okay with that too, instead of just the E175s and the CRJs. But to be fair, they will be bringing us a 737 later this year. This is one of my favorite planes to shoot at night, by the way. Just because, I don't know, the way the lights reflect off of this one from itself, of course. I mean, it just, I don't know. I love the Iceland livery at night. You guys will see it here in just a moment as it comes out from behind the tree. Just one of my favorites at night. Brianna gifting 5 more Carolina Aviation memberships. Thank you so much, Brianna Evans. That is 66 gifted memberships tonight. 66. And it's only Wednesday. That's insane. That's something we've never done on a Wednesday. Definitely. 66 new channel members. And you guys get all the emojis with those. I really don't, I probably should start doing more member videos and stuff like that, but you guys get the emojis. With your gifted membership there. So thank you to each and every one of you who have gifted memberships. Congratulations to 66 of you guys who gained memberships tonight. Brianna gifting 10 alone. Ramona gifted 10. Vince gifted 10. Oh, I'm so bad at remembering on who gifts what. Stevie gifted 10. Marco gifted 10, I think. So thank you guys. You know, greatly appreciate it. Congratulations to the 66 of you that gained a membership. This is probably one of the biggest weeknight shows we've had in a long time. And I honestly didn't think, judging by the amount of likes and the amount of chatter in the chat before we started, I honestly didn't think we were going to have that all that good of a show tonight. So thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Yeah, Vincent gifted 20 alone. So huge shout out to Vincent and Molly there. Huge supporters of the channel. All of you guys are wonderful supporters of the channel just by being here, watching the show, getting us, our watch time hours, and just hanging out. Really amazing. And we did reach 4,900 tonight, if you guys are just joining us. As a matter of fact, I think we're at 4,902 already. Let's check it one more time. 4,905. So we're just 95 away from reaching 5,000. So maybe in the next couple of episodes we'll reach 5,000. I think we're going to beat Mattman's estimated goal. I think Mattman said the end of May. I don't know. Mattman, did you post when you said? I didn't see it if you did. I think we were busy. So it looks like we got this United 737 at max getting ready to head out. It's not on flight radar, so I'll give you that info in just a minute, but our arrival airspace is full. Greatly appreciate all the help you guys give us. You guys are amazing. Nice blue ambient lighting on board. That max. Next up is going to be Southwest, I believe. We've got Southwest, we've got Frontier, we've got American, we've got Iceland departing. Lots of action happening now. Southwest 102 coming in from Nashville, Tennessee. 1 hour and 1 minute of flight time for this MAX 8. United, let's see. United's headed to Newark. That was a MAX 9. So our MAX 8 from Nashville, Tennessee. There are 3 more behind this one. They're all 800s, not Maxes though. Southwest. Gonna steal the show here at the end, toward the end of the show. And we've got another departure. Come on, Southwest, so we can get our departure. I think it might be Iceland. Back to Reykjavik. Thank you, Southwest. Iceland to Reykjavik. And that MAX 9. Iceland's going to leave us heavy. Safe travels to Iceland. Making that 6-hour trek back to Iceland. So let's see, what time is it? 8:54. We've got about 20-ish minutes here before the departure of the MD-11. Our next arrival is going to be American Airlines 2600 coming in from Miami. This is going to be another 737-800. You can see the other Southwest on the right of your screen there. All right, Daniel, have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. Yeah, they're still sitting over there. I think they're getting fuel in. Another American from Miami. Touching down. That one there, really, really loud touchdown. We've got another American's going to beat the other Southwest in American 1474 coming in from DCA, and you'll never guess who I just saw who's pushed back already. UPS 1275, our MD-11 to go back to Louisville, Kentucky, is on flight radar and is pushing back. So American from DCA, Southwest from Chicago Midway, that's Southwest 3724 on a 737-800. Almost in parallel. I believe our A319 is going to touch down before Southwest. I'm going to try to give you both of those touchdowns here, but our MD-11 is already pushed. So we're going to stay with you until the big rush ends. Even if the MD-11 departs, we'll go ahead and stick out this last little bit of the night rush. Like, we got a plane installation out here. I don't know if I can go wide enough. But all the planes. $180 likes. Thank you, Greg. Thank you guys for smashing the like button. Blew our like goal out of the water tonight. So again, this one coming in from Washington, D.C. via Ronald Reagan, this A319. Sorry, American, we gotta leave you, go over to Southwest. Our Southwest arrival. A319 really fast as it pulls off the runway. That A319 will probably make its way back here. Looks like our next arrival is going to be Frontier 1786 coming in from Orlando, followed by Southwest 4261 coming in from Phoenix, Arizona. So Frontier on this side. You guys exceeded my expectations. I figured we'd have about 165 likes before we end the show. Here we are at 180. So thank you guys. If I'm going to be able to split these two up like I did the last one. Hopefully we don't miss Southwest touchdown as we watch Marshall come in from Orlando. Got that A319 just below us. That's what you guys are hearing. Fingers crossed we get an absolute rocket out of our MD-11. All right, Marshall safely down. Let's head over to Southwest from Phoenix. Right here on 23 left. That A319 hanging out down there just below us. So we got one more Southwest 571 coming in from St. Louis. That one's going to be our next arrival. I actually believe that one, it will be our last arrival of the night. So nobody really close enough to stay for. We do have a Delta arriving in 14 minutes from Boston. That's another A220-100. But the one we're all waiting for is on the flight radar. So hopefully they get this A319 in here so we can have a nice crank it up moment for the MD-11. Pip, what's up? Sorry, I missed your message a moment ago. What's up, buddy? Good showing out there in San Diego over the course of the last 2 days. I was watching both shows. Absolutely fantastic shot there in San Diego. Alright, I'm going to mute until this A319 makes it to the gate. They've got one wing walker out there. And there goes the other one. Looks like we're going to have a CRJ pushback. So hopefully that does not ruin our MD-11 departure. So the MD is on flight radar. It hasn't moved. We've got a Delta CRJ on the way out. We're also going to have this PSA CRJ 701 head out. We've got an American Eagle, I think, sitting in the penalty box over there. And then, of course, the one we're all waiting for. Again, the MD. I believe it's finally moving. It's hard for me to tell. Hopefully the CRJ will make it quick, start up and get a move on out of our microphone's reach here, so we can have that pure tri-jet departure sound. We shall see, we shall see. Goes our CRJ starting up. did we just get lucky or what? That CRJ is now out of the alleyway. Hopefully we'll have uninterrupted sound by our MD-11. I see it moving down there. Molly's gonna miss the MD-11 departure watch. It's down there. It's ready to go. Looks like there's a Delta CRJ sitting in front of it. So that CRJ probably going to get a move on before our MD. Oh, I love it when you pop into a show. It cracks me up every time. Thank you, B Dubbin. Make sure you like the show tonight. I know you're gonna tell me tomorrow that you didn't, but and if you are, I know you pop in and pop out, but we do have that MD-11 departure. I don't know if you've ever seen one of them or not, but anyways, I'll be seeing you in the morning. So one more plane for the night after that CRJ. Hopefully the MD-11 leaves like a rocket. And then we can rocket out of here for our Wednesday evening. Finish this night off. Alright, let's see. Where is Delta headed? This is Endeavor 5198 headed to Washington, D.C. via Ronald Reagan in downtown. Ooh, nice early rotation for the CRJ. Nice and early. And here goes the MD. All right, enjoy. MD-11 headed back to Louisville, Kentucky. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that departure. One last arrival is going to be Delta 817 coming in from Boston, that A220 100. 1 hour and 30 minutes of flight time for this A220. So Delta did in fact become our last arrival. 8 likes away from 200. breathtaking beauty. Oh boy. You're hilarious. Leave you with a little bit of whale song tonight. Maybe they'll hit it just right. So we'll lose the A220 behind the handrail there. Hopefully we'll hear it again before we fall off air here. So there you go. 66 new. Let me turn ATC down here. 66 new members. Thank you guys for your awesome support. I greatly appreciate that. Honestly, you guys have no idea how much that means to me. There you go. We're 8 likes away from 200. That's a huge deal on a Wednesday night. We gained our new subscribers. Now we're 5 away from 200. We did make our goal of 4,900. We're at 4,906. So hopefully within the next 2 episodes, we'll be at 5,000 subscribers. So a huge thank you to each and every one of you, especially those that watch in the background. And of course, a huge thank you to all of you that contributed tonight with the super chats and the memberships. We shall see you guys on Saturday. Remember, Saturday, sometime Saturday, we'll be on. I don't know if we'll do 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, who knows. But we do have Lufthansa on Saturday. So we'll see you guys then. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you on Saturday. Thank you guys. Good night.